What's up, everyone? Today's video is going to be a little more laid back. We're going to talk about how to get clients, Instagram, building a portfolio, and a few other tips that will help you guys on your freelance design path. So let's go. What's up, everyone? So as you can see, this is a little bit of a different setting than my office. I'm just hanging out in the living room, and I wanted to do sort of more of an informal video because this topic it's business related, but I want to make it just a little bit more chill. I've gotten a few messages on Instagram and comments on YouTube about how you can get clients and basically how you can get graphic design work. The biggest thing that I can tell you guys is that it's all going to come down to your portfolio and experience. It's sort of like you can't put the cart before the horse type of thing. Like, you're not going to be able to get the work that you want unless your portfolio is up to par. And a lot of the messages I'm getting are asking specifically, like, how do I design for X artist or X band or whoever it is. So my advice to you guys is basically you want to get as much work under your belt as possible before you start reaching out to art directors and things like that. The first impression is everything. So what I would recommend is just starting, you can start locally, or you can just start DMing sort of smaller bands and artists, maybe artists who aren't necessarily under any sort of merchandising contract, because that's a huge hurdle that any freelance artist who's working independently is going to run into. A lot of bands and artists are locked into 360 deals, and that includes merchandising and sometimes the design itself. So a lot of times how it works is record labels will have an in-house design team, an in-house merchandising company that prints all the shirts and designs them as well. So what you basically want to do is reach out to artists and bands who maybe aren't necessarily locked into those types of deals and build a relationship with them so that, worst case scenario, you get a bunch of good practice in and you design some cool stuff, get paid for it, and the artist or band doesn't go anywhere and it doesn't really lead to any other work. But best case, you could run into a scenario where you work with an artist who's just starting out, and then they start to build some momentum and they blow, and if the relationship that you have with this artist is good, it can lead to really big things, continuing to work with them, or maybe another artist sees their merchandise and they talk to their manager, or they reach out on their own and contact you and want you to be a designer for them as well. So it's all about basically creating opportunity and taking advantage of every opportunity that you have and making the most out of it. There's going to be times when you reach out to artists and the opportunity might be there, but maybe the money isn't there, meaning it might be a relatively big artist who maybe is going on tour as a supporting act, or they're starting to get some buzz or hype going, like, online, and for whatever reason the money isn't there that you're looking for. And that's when you basically have to make the distinction between a good opportunity and paying the bills. And obviously at the end of the day, we all want to be able to pay our bills and do what we love, but you have to have the mindset that this is a long-term game. You have to be thinking about big picture stuff. So there's been lots of opportunities that I've had where I've worked for free, and it's led to really amazing things down the road, just because I was willing to set aside sort of any monetary gains in the short term in order to build a relationship that long term would pay 10x of what I would have originally gotten in that first project. So to this day, I still, if the opportunity presents itself and someone is pitching to an artist or a band who I'm not otherwise connected to, I'll still do work for free. It's rare, and obviously it's not something I like to do, but I'm still able to set my ego aside and just do work that might lead to bigger things. So that sort of mentality never really ends, at least not for me. So if you're just starting out, build an Instagram page that will showcase your art. I recommend at the beginning sort of focusing in on a specific genre. It's going to be kind of hard to be a jack of all trades from the beginning, because chances are, if someone comes to your Instagram page, unless you're already at that high level where you can do all these different styles, it's going to look very disjointed and scattered, and people aren't going to get a clear picture of the kind of style that you can do, which, if you're just starting out, is probably just going to be maybe one or two styles, because it is a process that takes a long time to learn how to adequately do every genre of music and cater to every style. It's just something that takes time. So I would recommend focusing and zeroing in on maybe it's rap or rock or metal or whatever it is, and try to get involved in the music and design community on Instagram. That means following artists, following designers, commenting, and being genuine and being enthusiastic. Don't try to be a cool guy. I think you guys know what I'm saying. Just be excited about being a designer, because in my experience, it's really benefited me greatly to be more optimistic and enthusiastic about commenting and replying to people. Not I don't comment on every post. I don't really honestly comment that much at all, but if I were just starting out, I would really try to present myself as someone who's eager and excited about design and eager to work, and things like that. So Instagram is definitely huge in terms of creating new opportunities. Once maybe you have a portfolio going on Instagram, maybe you have a Squarespace set up that has some of your work showcased, what you can do is use LinkedIn as a means of seeing who the art directors are for different companies, record labels, merchandising companies, clothing brands, any sort of genre or any style of design that you want to get into. You can find those companies through a quick Google search, and then look them up on LinkedIn. It'll show who's employed at these companies. You can try to connect with them. Otherwise, 9 times out of 10, you're going to be able to just find them on Instagram, and you can follow them. I don't recommend, if you scroll through their feed and it's just personal stuff, it's family stuff, it's, hanging out with their friends, but nothing really related to their life at a record label or a merchandising company, it's probably not a great idea to try to follow them and comment and things like that, because you want to make any sort of new relationship that you form on Instagram as organic as possible. And it's probably just going to feel like you're kind of overstepping your boundaries if you sort of approach them and when they're essentially in like their personal space of their Instagram feed, not relating to work stuff. So yeah, I definitely recommend that if you go through their feed and they're talking about work and they're talking about design, and maybe they're a designer themselves, definitely try to connect with them and comment and see who they're following, and do whatever makes sense for whatever kind of design work you're trying to do. And once you're confident in the portfolio sort of that you have on Instagram, it doesn't hurt to direct message people and don't pester them, but you can just casually ask, are you looking for freelancers at this time? Is there an email, an appropriate email that I can reach out to and send a portfolio link, or send maybe a PDF booklet of my work? I'd love to get on a freelance email list that you may or may not have. Those are the type of questions that you can ask, so it doesn't feel like you're being pushy. Don't expect an answer at all. That's definitely a big part of getting started, is getting used to not hearing back from people, or getting used to hearing no. The good news is that if you reach out to 100 people and you get 99 no's, that one yes can lead to years and years of work and building your portfolio, which is going to entice other people who may have passed the first time. Maybe you follow up with them 6 months later, maybe earlier if you're really trying to get your foot in the door, and maybe they check back on your portfolio, and since then it's grown because you've established these other relationships. So it's really just all about building your skill set, building your portfolio. Portfolio is to me the most important thing that you can really sort of build up and focus on, because that is going to be, even for me, like if I didn't have my work out anywhere and people couldn't see that I've designed for all these bands and artists, there's no like validation that they can kind of look at. They can't they can't tell that I'm like actually a legit designer otherwise. Does that make sense? So yeah, that is my advice. Once you sort of have these relationships going, just treat it the same way you would, I don't want to say like a friendship, because it is business, but always be cordial, be understanding of the fact that they have a job to do, you have a job to do, and as long as the goal for both of you is to create great artwork, that's all that matters. And obviously you want to maintain professionalism, and don't let anyone walk all over you or anything like that, but in order to maintain the types of relationships that will lead to years and years of design work, you just need to be kind of willing to go with the punches sometimes, and be flexible and be understanding and work hard. Like, that's honestly my biggest advice. Build that portfolio and just work super fucking hard, because nothing trumps hard work. Like, if you're really putting in the hours and really focused on your craft and focused on creating new relationships, maintaining your current relationships, it's hard to go wrong. So that is my advice for you guys. I hope this was helpful, and yeah, be sure to subscribe and like this video. Comment, let me know if there was some area that you want to hear more about. Maybe I could do a part 2 of this, and keep the vibes kind of chill for this type of talk. And yeah, I would love to keep the conversation going with you guys, however you want to do that. So yeah, subscribe, like, follow me on Instagram, fuller.mo, and I will see you guys later.